All right, this video is going to be reversing what we just did on the first video. So here I give you the graph and I want you to go ahead and write the equation. So let's one really good way to do this is to kind of try to write the equation yourself and then get out your graphing calculator, or you can go to Desmos.com and try to check to see if you're right. So if you want to do that first, maybe just pause this video and try it, and then maybe kind of watch the video to check your answers at the end. The only one of these that I find a little tricky is D, so please make sure you at least watch the video for D. But I'm going to start with A. So this is an absolute value function, so right away I know I'm going to need the absolute value. And so I kind of make it a little bit bigger there so I can put numbers inside. This is shifted from, normally our vertex is at 0, 0. So this is shifted over. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So this is going to the right 4 and up, looks like it's up 3. So in order to write that, you always need to have an X in there. And then to go to the right, you put the number inside, except it's the opposite of what you think. I always think right should be positive, but how this works is -4. And then up is the number after, and those are exactly what you think. So it should be x squared, the absolute value of x plus x minus 4 plus 3. Here I have a quadratic equation. There's a few things I notice. I always write myself notes. It's reflected. Oops. Oh my gosh. Look at how I spelled that, you guys. OMG. It's upside down. So that means it's reflected over the x-axis. I'm not going to write it because it takes too much space. And then it's shifted down too. It is not moved left or right. So again, f of x equals, you could write y equals 2 if you want. Since there is no left or right, inside that parentheses is just going to be an x. Some students put +0. You have to make sure that the squared is on the outside of the parentheses. To flip it over the x-axis, you need a negative out in front. And then to move it down to, the up and down shift is at the back. So there's your equation for that one. For C, this is a cubic. And so f of x equals, I always leave a little space in case I need a reflection, parentheses cubed, and then your x is always going to start in here. My normal point of inflection, that's the place where it turns, is at 0. So this looks like it's going left 1, and it went down 2. It is not reflected, so that's the way the shape of the normal graph looks. So to go left, I need to make this a +1, and to go down, -2. The last one I have is a square root, and this is the one that's the trickiest one here because of the reflection over the y-axis. So it's reflected, oh my god, I keep spelling that wrong. Reflected over the y-axis, and it went left 3, and it went down 3. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. So, make your square root. It's reflected over the y-axis, so that means there's a negative inside. Now, it also went to the left. So, this is the place where a lot of students make a mistake. You have to use parentheses in here, and I'll show you why in a second. To go left, remember that you would make that a +3. Then after, to go down, let me just make that smaller. To go down, you would put a -3 off the bat. So that is a completely acceptable answer. But what you will see, you will not see it written like that in textbooks or other places. What happens in online or anywhere where the people who write these equations, they distribute this through. So really the way that you will see this is like this. You'll see it as -x minus 3 and then -3 here. So the weird part about that is you have to factor it out in order to see the correct shift. That's why I like this better, but I'm going to give you some kind of like this to start, and you need to factor that negative out because that's going to give you the correct horizontal shift. So that's a little tricky, and we'll review that, kind of on Monday not Monday. I keep screwing up all the days. The next time I see you, we will kind of clear that up and do some practice with that. That's the trickiest one of the bunch. Last thing, real quick, I'm not going to hammer this really with you too much, but something to note. Sometimes you might have a number out in front, and again, remember that just makes it wider or narrower. If the number is greater than 1, like this is a 4, it makes it narrower. It's really easy to see with absolute value because those sides are lines. It would go up 4 over 1. It would make it super narrow. If the number was a fraction between 0 and 1, what ends up happening is it makes it wider. So, like this over here, my normal x squared, is kind of here, and then it'll be wider. I'm not gonna get the exact points for you, but a number between 0 and 1, a fraction between 0 and 1 makes it wider. So those are just kind of reviews for you. I want you to please do the homework page, which is the next page of your packet. Thank you.